and think about how things change. We used to be homies, you flip the script and now we rivals. I hear you getting bumped, fucking with them outsiders.
A rider, you, hell no, more like a bitch. You a non-loyal, backstabbing, cowardly snitch.
My homie stupid fighting 25 a lot for doing dirt. So don't try to deny it, sucker, he's got your paperwork. Should've kept your homies tight and played your cards right. Instead you're trying to be the baller, end up in your life. It ain't no thing for me to rearrange the brains of a lane. The yakkles just pertain, so I maintain them the names. And everything is gone strange, but I'm still up in this shit. Even though my gigs diminished to a 5-member clique and Blackbird is gone. But you never know how long that motherfucker might just creep up even you and you don't. And it's gone.
Blackbird is gone, but the funk don't stop.
Got the water blow up, you're not
Barrel fucking brains.
Blackbird is gone, but the funk don't stop. Got the water blow up, you're not barrel fucking brains. We used to be homies, but you a rat.
I don't know what the fuck he says right there. Yeah.
Stroke chambers when my fingers in hope. Dirty blood spills tonight. 9 mils, spin tight, hit right. Make your fate when the sun's on flight. Good night, Irene. I mean, not dreams when I let loose and do 16 in your spleen. And produce another murder scene. My bullets being the teams will scream from another machine. And picture rats asleep, tweak when I creep these sticky situations. Concentrations when I face it. But there's no hesitations when I relieve frustrations. The case is, you bruised my pride, but I refuse to lose. So I'll choose to ride my side. My folks, no joke, leave me smoke toad, no doubt. And that weak move that you choose, we reach a single down. Man, there's lessons to be learned, tables to be turned. Treason is a reader for our bridges being burned. Stripes earned when a hollow tip grip from a clip bitch legit. When I clip bits and wipe me off my hit list. And witness the bigness and homies that were with this. At one time, a fuck rise, I switch up with the quickness. Ridiculous, you're giving all a cal a bad name. Homies gonna get the grain.
Damn, shit's gone strange.
Blackbird is gone, but the funk don't stop. Got the pot to blow up, you're not in barrel fucking brains. Blackbird is gone, but the funk don't stop. Got the pot to blow up, you're not in barrel fucking brains. We used to be homies, but
You a rat.
got the pot to blow up, you're not in barrel fucking
If anybody knows what the fuck he says right there, please chime in and let me know, because all this time I've never known. Damn, shit's gone strange. Alright, so, yep, there we go. Fuck, Little Lowe's, I gotta hit him back. He chimed in. I had some personal tragedy in my family, and that's why I was gone for a while. Don't really want to get on that right now, because I'm trying to do this. But Little Los, I love you. I love you to death, man. So, you know what? I'm just going to tell a story real quick of when I first met Little Los. He came around with Blackbird, or Junior. Little Bird. I never call him that. It's just Bobby, you know, or Bob. My boy Bob, Little Bob, whatever. Ramirez, Carlos Ramirez's little brother. And I remember Big Los was very protective, like super fucking protective of Bobby. And actually the very first time I seen the two of them was me and Big Los were Big Los had this like, it was a Mustang, but it was like probably the nerdiest, lamest like Mustang they ever produced, right? It was like an 80s something. It looked like, I had a Cavalier that looked dead on like it. And anyway, he picked me up from County Day. Big Los used to pick me up from County Day all the time. And I'll tell you another time why I was there, or going to school there. But so we're smashing down G Street on the way to Blythe, where I used to live, and there's Bob, Little Bob, and Little Los walking. I remember it was like fucking hot outside. It was like summertime, and Bob's in a 49er parka. Don't let him fool you. He's a Raider fan now, but that motherfucker used to sport fucking 49ers because he was a wannabe like we all used to be. But anyway, I remember Big Los was like, "Bob, what you doing?" Going home. He's like, "What the fuck? Why aren't you in school?" You know, he's like, "Oh, I'm sick." He's like, "Oh, Little Los is sick with you?" They obviously cut class or whatever and got caught. And he's like, "Get your ass home," you know what I mean? Bob, you know, yeah, Bob, I can't really speak on it. It's for something for him to do, but you know, Big Los was very authoritative because you know the dad wasn't around. So yeah, Raymond, the older brother, and Big Los, the middle brother, and then Bob, the little brother, right? And Raymond was nothing but just a pure heart. You know what I'm saying? Big Los was kind of like the authority figure in the family. But anyway, that's when I first saw them the first time they kicked it, because you know they always wanted to kick it, but Big Los wouldn't allow it because you know he wanted to wait till they were older. He didn't really want them getting involved, but you know of course you can't stop a kid from doing what they want to do. So I remember the very first night, and Los, you probably remember this. I don't know why this fool just kept singing that. Some song was like, "I'll milk you like cereal." I don't know who that was or what that's, but Lil Los just the whole night smashing around. We're all on the cruise and shit. That fool just kept saying that shit. "I'll milk you like cereal." It was funny, but yeah, and shit didn't take long, you know, become good friends with him. But anyway, so back to that. Other people like have asked, you know, about that shit. I don't even know if I've even done it. Did I do this video yet? I don't even know. But I'm talking about. Oh, let me get you guys. Hold on. Is that fucking home? I'm not gonna, of course, name dude. We're just gonna call him BB right now. And now BB was a good homie. He was a good friend. BB actually went on fucking goddamn camping trip with me and my family at Dillon's Beach and shit. We took mad amounts of Bammer with us. We was like, fuck, I don't know, maybe 15 at the time, 15, 16 maybe. And fuck, we just smoking fat ass doob after doob. And it was pouring rain because we'd go in the wintertime, like President's Weekend, like February and shit. And we were journeying down the fucking longest beach. We found a fucking waterfall, all that shit. It was dope as fuck. Anyway, BB was a good homie. Shit, I remember we was on Wilbur one time and there was this gun, this gat, whatever, fucking Queta, whatever the fuck, got passed around through the homie from homie to homie. Eventually, it had no barrel, right? This motherfucker just like was just a nub, and the bullets just come out wherever. But when it had a barrel, it was a badass gat. And I remember BB had it on one time. We was in this dude McGill, punk ass fucking McGill, that whatever. In his car, smashing these cats from Ramirez, fucking. I'm like, again, say names, but you know, kind of throwing up, talking shit, so whatever. And Big Lo's like, it was like literally like Big Lo's, me, and BB in the back seat. I forget who was the passenger, and McGill was driving, and we was going up Wilbur up the hill, and then fucking Big Lo's like, fuck it, it's like BB blasting. So he gets fuck out the window, like they're a little of us. He's like, blah, 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 you know what I mean? You know, luckily, we got hit because it would have been something big. But anyway, so it was like, dude, drop us off here because we was on the other side of my neighborhood. Scurried through, got right here to my house. Right here, you see? That's 16th Street. Cops just smashing by. We're sitting right there in that living room window. And we see the cops just going by. Boom, boom, boom. My dad's out here in the yard. Here's my yard and shit. My dad's out here in the yard working. And my dad was no fool. We talked about that shit later. He always asked me, you know, 'cause my parents never knew what I was into. I mean, maybe they did. They never said nothing. I never told them nothing. But later on, you know, as I got older, me and my dad talked about it a little bit, and he asked me, did any of your buddies bring in any guns in the house? You know, and I fucking, God rest his soul, I lied and said no. But they didn't. The only time was that one time. But anyway, yeah, so BB. Back to BB. So BB starts chilling, I guess, with some cats from Pittsburgh. And doing his thing, selling some, slanging, whatever the fuck, you know, like, you guys remember when Wood's like, you know, half of them would start to slanging, but yeah, why'd y'all quit banging and shit like that? He's probably referring to around these times. So BB starts hanging out with these other cats, you know, doing his thing. And but BB, let me just do a little backstory on BB. BB grew up on 4th and J, downtown. 4th and J, I mean, it was a quintessential fucking ghetto. I mean, it was beat. If they actually ended up condemning the place because like fucking sewage problems and shit, tore it all down, and now they got, you know, new affordable housing there, which is much nicer. But you had so my cigarette. You had 4th and J apartments, which was like, you know, square, literally, you know. It's like 4th and J, 4th and K, whatever the fuck came first, like the alphabet. But it's just a square, and then there was a middle road that went through, and there's just apartment buildings, boom, boom, boom. Not many of them, like maybe 3 and 3, and they were like went upstairs and downstairs, you know, whatever, and that was like a track in between. Right across the street, though, was another apartment building that by the time I started hanging around that area, was already abandoned. But in the abandoned one, before it was abandoned, was a family that they used to call, everybody called the Ricans, because they were Puerto Rican. But they were like a gang called 8 Ball Tweakers. And that's where Louie Lou comes in. So Louie Lou is a Rican. He's one of the big family. And they were the shit. Very, very good people. Tough motherfuckers, though. Tough motherfuckers. If I'm not mistaken, I think it was Tito that was shot like 6 times and like sat down and was like calling ambulance. And motherfucker lived, you know. I don't know, Tito, if I'm wrong, correct me when I see you, but are you still have the bullets in you? I don't know. Again, I wasn't there for it, just a story I heard, but I was there for when I first met and even saw Louie Lou. Let me tell you something about Louie Lou. Louie Lou is a heart of gold, right? He is just a soft-spoken, mellow, chill, big smile on his face, good ass fucking homie. I love you, Lulu. But he's like a Tasmanian devil, you know. He might be furry and cuddly and stuff, but you piss him off, he's like, start spinning around and fucking shit up in his wake. You don't want to mess him up, or you know, piss him off, because he'll mess you up. So in Blackbird, the song, when he's like, you know, I snatched the gun out of his hand and you shouldn't, you know, put hands on a man. That story is another story I'll get into later when we get on location. But he did that. He literally fucking snatched his gun out of his hand. You know that old saying? It's like, you know, oh, you're carrying that gun, you're gonna pull it on the wrong person, they're gonna take it from you. Well, that's Louie Lou. He'd take that shit from you. Anyway, when I first saw Louie Lou. Me and BB actually was who introduced me to him. We're walking up. He's like, "Oh, there's my boy Louie." And he was in conversation with this dude. And behind dude is like some shrubs, you know, like bushes, like I don't know, you know, like waist high, whatever. I'm holding this shit, right? And actually, I'm gonna have to put this down. All right, so let me get one of my garage real fast. Probably ambience is better too, or whatever. You probably hear me better. All right, so so behind this dude is like, you know, hedge bushes. That's what it is, like this high, right? He's in conversation, like, we can't hear. We're walking up. All of a sudden, Louie just, just fucking, just there's a fucking upcut. Dude just, like, fucking flew. All you see is, like, the fucking soles of his feet. Like, he, like, disappeared. All I saw was, like, shoes. Behind the bushes, he was gone, right? Just catered. And, and Louie just, like, like, you know, like, fucking, whatever. And was like, hey, what's up? What's up, BB? You know, like, fucking Louie Lou, man. Yeah, legit. Real deal. I guess that's some other stories, but we'll probably get along that later on. Okay, so back to the whole, this thing with Wood and shit was, now again, I wasn't there for this, so I had to do some research, because I actually had one thing wrong, which was location. I'm sure you all know who our homegirl Megan was. I heard she actually has some fans out there and shit. She's a sexy woman, you know, what are you going to do? She's a very, very good friend. But anyway, I guess it was all at her house. BB, a couple Ricans, and some cats from Pittsburgh with BB, right? And it was like Wood, B-Dub, Bob, Lilo, and Nate Banks, right? And I guess what happened was basically Wood, you know, starts kind of questioning BB in the bathroom. He's in there with one of the Ricans, and you know, he's like talking about like da-da-da, whatever, like, you know, we weren't about slanging and shit like that, you know, it wasn't, we was like legit, we was a brotherhood, and it was about Norteño and the cause or whatever, and, you know, it was like he wasn't kicking no more, you know, he wasn't chilling no more, he wasn't like being like a Norteño homie, you know, like down, he was doing his thing with these other cats, and like it was all about his money and shit, which, okay, I get it, you gotta make money. But so Wood just started questioning him and whatnot, and then this is where Wood went wrong though, was he pulled a strap, and the Rican, you know, growing up with BB, fucking gave it to him, and then all hell broke loose. Nate Banks got knocked the fuck out, and they ended up just jumping everybody, and because they were outnumbered big time, and they end up dragging Nate Banks out to the curb. Now, so Nate Banks and BB had like life funk ever since then. I mean, all the way up till Nate Banks got killed, which a couple years ago by PD. And anyway, so that's what that was, and so that kind of created like a split, you know, like a so these guys are all the Ricans and the BBs or whatever, we're all one at one time, and then so I don't know what Louie's talking. I don't know if Louie in Blackbird is talking when he says a split, something about split. I don't know if that's what he's talking about, but I think so. And so it was kind of like fucked up. So they like became another faction. I don't know, whatever. And did their thing, and then that was it. BB was no longer ever kicking it with us again, and it was just funky from that point on. I mean, I think it was all, you know, it's all bad, it's all fucked up, but it's a situation, and it's, you know, a Wood should not have pulled the gat out. I agree with that, but you know, I got no ill will or feeling towards him, whatever. He's still running around, but yeah, so we'll just go ahead and leave it at that. So that's what that song's about. But if anybody knows what the fuck Wood says, he's like, I don't know, but anyway, so alright, well, I got a comment on that. And the reason he's calling him a rat is because BB ended up going and then testifying in Gabe's trial. So nobody, here's the thing about Gabe. If somebody asked today, they actually, I don't know who you were, I read your post. I remember your name, or your, you know, whatever your thing is. You asked, Wood said something about, you know, homie like Snoop. Snoop would be me. And you said, did Snoop take the blame for Wood in the quinceañera shit? That is the quinceañera. I'm trying to like avoid that at the moment because that is a huge arc in the story. But yeah. To answer your question, yes. Gabriel Snoop Roberson is a 100% innocent man who's already done 30 fucking years in the pen. And he recently just had his entire fucking head tattooed because I feel like he did that. He wanted to get a halo a long time ago like Jesus had because he feels crucified. And he was. APD fucking set him up. Alright. Oh no, I don't get no backlash off this. But anyway, they told him straight up, we know you didn't do it, but you're gonna go down for it. So Gabe was, what happened was Gabe's a, you know, a short white guy like me, you know, big nose, kind of goofy, you know, but die hard, kind of my homie, and a great father, you know, tried to be to his son. And there was a home invasion real quick. I'm gonna try to make this fast. 2 years before he got busted with this, they did a home invasion to jack these guys of their dank, right? Because this other dude we know was like, I know these motherfuckers are selling, you know, they're growing in their apartment, right? And they got all the home, they're gonna have hell money. So they said it's a black dude, maybe a couple black dudes, and then a couple Mexican dudes. Blackbird was there. And the reason they call him Blackbird is because he was dark complexion, you know. They all got hoods on and whatnot. But they send Gabe to knock on the door, right? Because they figured anybody look through the little peephole, they're gonna, you know, see Gabe, and I don't know who he is, but whatever. You know what I mean? And not be intimidated. Sorry, Gabe. I mean, you know, it is what it is. I mean, I'm not an intimidating guy. I mean, we could be intimidating if you have to be back yet, but that's not what we're about, you know. And so I think Gabe was just, they're like, who is it? And he's just like, Doug. Like, just fucking, hey, open the door and boom, whatever. Turns out this cat we were kicking it with at the time, we called Boxer. I ain't gonna say his name, but we called him Boxer, you know, da-da-da. Because he was a boxer, he was badass, toughest motherfucker. And it turns out those were his cousins, and he ended up ratting out, and Gabe did 2 years in Susanville. And I think he was 19 when he did that, so then it was 2 years later, so he would have been 21 or so. And 14, literally, ironically, 14 days before his release from Susanville, they dropped charges on him for quinceañera shooting. And he was convicted of 5 attempted murders, 1 murder, guerrilla mayhem, terrorism, the whole 9 yards, gang enhancements, everything. He got 105 years, and eligible for parole at age of 90. Because Gabe didn't rap. He wasn't there. He thought he could beat it, you know. They tried him. One juror there was one juror just said, look, it's just not enough for me to send this kid away the rest of his life. And there wasn't, honestly. So, you know, the law being the law, they said, try him again. And they did. So they get a different jury in there, and this time, ones that were probably a little bit more sympathetic and biased towards the government's view, and convicted him. Now, later on, when I was going to Diablo Valley College and doing theater there, and I ain't going to say her name either, I'm sorry about this, but we were doing a show, actually. It was, what was it called? Witness to the Prosecution. And I played the fucking bailiff and shit. I was, like, still kind of new there. And she was a juror member. Like, she played one of the juries. And remember the director, Beth McBrien, who was a phenomenal teacher, phenomenal director. I think she's still there. I'd like to go see her. She was like, yeah, we have one of the cast members that actually sat on a capital murder charge trial as a juror, right? And I remember when she said that, like, first thing came to my head, I was like, please don't be Gabe. Please don't be Gabe. And what she described, I was like, that's fucking Gabe. So I held it and I didn't say nothing to her. And then I got drunk at a cast party and I fucking went off on her and was like, that was my fucking friend. He was fucking innocent, da-da-da. And as soon as I said that, this girl just started bawling. She started bawling. And she said, I didn't think he was. She said, but they pushed me and they pushed me. She's talking about the other jurors. She said one guy mentioned how his daughter was jumped by gang members and this and that. Like, he motherfucking supposed to not to be biased, right? And not have any kind. But this fucker was on there and said his daughter was jumped by gang members and shit. And he literally is like, what do you care? He's just another gang member off the street. I think actually she went to law school and might be a lawyer now, but I don't know if she's that kind of lawyer, but I should hit her up. Anyway, yeah, so that's that story. So BB, so what they did was they had one witness in this motherfucker, right? One witness. One. Somebody stepped forward, whatever. 2 years later, after the fact, they admitted to having 6 to 7 alcoholic beverages, being drunk. They're in a state of panic. 2 years later, all the motherfuckers that went in there had hoods on. The two shooters had hoods on. And you're going to tell me that this person could positively identify the culprit? Mm-mm. Not only that, he did describe what he saw, because the white people, we stand out, right? Was reddish, hair and complexion, and that's not Gabe by any means. In fact, they put Gabe in a lineup with all Mexicans. He's white. He's got some, I think, Mexican or Hispanic heritage in him, but he's white as all fucking get out. He looks like the bird that hung out with Snoopy. That's why I always thought he's called Snoop, but he was just a Snoopy fan. But anyway, 100% fucking innocent. I'm going to get his address and all that stuff if you guys want to help him out, because this motherfucker, we've dogged him. I mean, like, not intentionally, but somebody, I remember reading a blog of this motherfucker was like, that gang just cursed, you know what I mean? And like, it's been rough for all of us out here, and it's been a trip. And it's like we can't help as much as we'd like to. So if you guys don't mind, I'm going to shoot a video real fast after this with his address and stuff. If you literally just write him and just say, hey, just fucking sorry that this fucking happened. You just any fucking mail, because when they sent him in the shoe. I mean, this guy's like, he's this big. He's got to do what he's got to do. He's got no money, right? Like, nobody's putting any shit on his books. So he's got to do something to protect himself. He got, I don't know what happened, what the situation was, but then they charged him with attempt and this and that, but then the DA didn't pick it up, but the prison still shipped his ass to the Pelican, put him on the shoe, right, 23 hours a day, with only 1 hour by himself outside of his cell, in a square with grass, and all you can see is the sky. That was it, for two years or more, I think. And he writes about that, actually. I think he's got something on the web. You could actually read about it. He says the only human contact he had was the guard giving him his food through his little slit in the door, who actually despises him. And he's 100% innocent. So, yeah, if you guys could just... And he even said, he was like, they threatened us with a mail strike. Like, they wouldn't give, like, anybody mail. And he said, well, that doesn't bother me because I don't get any anyway. He said he couldn't even remember what steak tastes like. And he's 100% innocent. Anyway, so sorry to all of a sudden turn this story into something sad and tragic, but I needed to get this out eventually anyway, and I've been wanting to, but this is just the perfect time, I guess. But Gabriel Roberson, I think he's at Vacaville now, but they're planning on shipping him back to Pelican because they're running out of room. Anyway, guys, I'll get that on here as fast as possible. So if you could send him anything, $1, $5, anything, just a hello, he would greatly appreciate it. So my point is that BB ended up testing for. They brought in McGill, the car driving, BB, a few other cats. You know, got help with what they were being charged with, whatever, and certain other to just basically come in and incriminate Gabe. So they didn't say like I saw him do it. They just said that yeah, he's a gang member. I ran with him. He carried a gun. He's a bad guy. American justice.